NERDSoul.
Woo! Yeah, late LK at OneYoungsta, hold it down, bring that StreetGeek and NERDSoul. What is up, my people? Today, coming with another wonderful episode of Beats, Vibes, Life. We doing it up Corona style because
Corona
we are on
style.
the phone doing this episode of Corona style. But since things have changed, with the schedules, people staying in and all that, we are focusing on one album. When I say we, I'm talking about me and a special co-host to my metaphysical left. Beat making extraordinaire, producer and producerial essence, philanthropic superstar, Arckatron.
Debatable, but yes. Hey, how y'all doing, y'all? It's me, Arcatron, and the place to be on the MIC. It's ARCKATRON.com. You can find all my music there. Buy everything right now because we ain't really working over here. So holla at me, all right? But to my metaphysical or spiritual left or right, right actually, I have NERDSoul. He is the connoisseur of all Comic-Cons in the universes, in the known multiverses. He is also the greatest interviewer of all time. He interviewed the Phils the other day, y'all. Phil Morris and Phil Lamar. Holla, NERDSoul, y'all.
Two Phils.
New NERDSoul, y'all.
What up, y'all? NERDSoul. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You know what it is. We ain't gonna waste your time. You know what I'm saying? We know you stuck inside. You doing your you getting your how should I say,
it's the
your
rock
coronavirus quarantine on. So today we are covering Jay Electronica's A Written Testimony.
You mean Jay Electronica? You mean
yeah. Jay Cirque du Soleil and all that.
Yeah, Jay. I just actually wrote that one down, so that's an interesting one. I like that one actually.
So we're going to get into the album. We're going to get into a little bit of the fallout after the album. And, our thoughts, rated, and all that good stuff. Did you want to cover it first, or did you want me to go first?
With what? What you want me to say about it?
Like, you're going to start reviewing, like, first thoughts?
I've listened to this album 3-4 times now, I think, altogether. Because I already heard it. When it came out, I heard it. That night I heard it. Woke up the next day, I think I listened to it again. But I haven't listened to it until this week. So I'll kind of let it just sit there for a little bit. I don't be watching no news reports. I don't know what's going on about the album. I just know that I like the album. That's the first thing I'll say about it. For multiple reasons. But my initial thoughts about the album is it was, about time, about dang time. It was long awaited. I wish. Oh, that's the thing. I just took a shower and I was listening in the shower. I just remember what I was thinking in the shower. I wish, just like how I wish that Infinity War. I wish how Thor Ragnarok didn't show Hulk. I wish that we didn't know that Jay-Z was on the album beforehand. That's what I wish, because it was a pleasant surprise to hear Jay-Z rap with Jay Electronica off tops, but also Jay, that is the Z-Man, came through. That's all I have to say. What do you have to say about NERDSoul? What's your initial thoughts? Ooh, I'm interviewing you now.
All right.
Haha.
Initial thoughts from the listening of Jay Electronica's A Written Testimony. And I've listened to this album twice.
Okay.
First, I'll say this. I'll preface this with this. I understand who Jay Electronica is. I know who he's talking about. I know what he's referencing. I know all that. So I don't want to hear it's too deep.
Inshallah.
You won't get it.
Inshallah.
I don't want to hear none of that.
Inshallah. All right, I got you.
The album was for me, took a long time to get here. Way long time to get here. For me, this album is too little too late. I found myself waiting for it to be over, and it's only 10. Well, excuse me, it's only 10 tracks, only 9 songs.
Okay.
And I ended up feeling like this isn't even. I'll get into it later, but this isn't even an album, and it's not even Jay Electronica's album. That's how I felt about it initially. On second listen, I pretty much feel the same. Like I gave it a couple days, and then listened again. I was like, I feel the same.
Okay. We are diametrically opposed on this one. That's great.
Yeah,
this is
super
gonna be a
opposed.
good show then.
And see, I was wondering how we would feel because I think before the album dropped, I think I was on your side and you were on my side, and now it looked like we flipped.
Yeah. Well, me is that I had no expectations at all. I didn't care about how long it took for it to get here, quote unquote, to get here. I don't care about that context. I just care about the actual music. I don't care anything is surrounding the music or anything of that stuff. I felt it was an attempt to do something different. Because think about this. On paper, if you write all these things down, Jay Electronica, 10 years removed from an actual release of some sort. Actually, really 13 from a full release of anything of some sort, which is the Pledge.
Yeah.
Act 1. You add that into the mix. You add Jay-Z into the mix. You add Jay Electronica doing most of the music to the mix. You also add it being done in 40 days to the mix, which was the reports beforehand, which what he said. He said 40 days, he spent 4 days. They sat down 40 days ago and made the album. And in that time, granted, they put one song, that's an old song, that's Shiny Suit Theory. It's an older song with both of them on it. It doesn't sound like it's dated because the music sounds like from that era. You know what I'm saying? Like what he was doing back then, because he did the beat for Shiny Suit Theory. He also did everything else for the most part on this album, except like two songs really. So musically, it's still in line with whatever was done 10 years ago. Jay Electronica slightly shows up. You know what I'm saying? Like Jay-Z shows up. Jay-Z's like, yo, I'm not gonna let this dude murder me on my own stuff like someone else did years ago. Which is, I'm talking about Kanye, y'all. If y'all know who I'm talking about. Watch the Throne, Kanye bodies Jay-Z on that album. I don't care what no one says. Kanye bodies Jay-Z on that album. He maybe has a couple songs where he overshines Kanye, but for the most part, I am there for Kanye. Sorry, Jay. But on this album, I am here for Jay. And what he's talking about, his messages and his energy and his tone is the Jay-Z I've been looking for my whole life.
Okay. Cool. Well, on my end, I throw the track in. I throw the album on, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. We got an intro. This is interesting because we ain't got but 10 songs. And you wasted one on an intro. Now, I know
nothing is wasted, sir. I don't feel like an intro is a waste of a song. It's not over track listings. I don't like people say that. I'm defending Jay, one of them.
Let me finish. I'm like, you ain't got but 10 tracks. And you got a whole track where you ain't even saying that. Now, I know there's going to be a lot of people you don't understand. No, I get it. I understand. I know the message. I know his message. I understand. I will get to that later. Then, before he even busts, he let Jay crack the first whip on his own album. What kind of mess is going on up in here?
I have a big flack with that one.
What kind of mess
I got something to say about that.
is going on up in here?
I got something to say about that.
I know later on in Universal Soldier and pretty much all through the joint, he's like, yo, Jay, my man. Jay, yo, he my boy. No. This is your album. I thought it was. We waited this long to get it.
You didn't care about it, man. You didn't wait this long.
This ain't a Jay Electronica album. This is a duo album. This is Jay and Jay. This is Jay Squared. Whatever it is, call it a group.
Squared.
Make a group. Drop an album. But
don't Watch the Throne Part 2. That's what it is, man.
And it's not your album. If you can't write enough lyrics to finish your album, then don't make one.
Okay, what I'm trying to say is this. All stuff you're saying has nothing to do with the actual music. That's what I'm trying to say. Everybody talk about everything but the actual music.
No, let me get to the actual music.
That's what I'm waiting for.
The music was sleepy. It was meh. Here's my problem with the music. I don't have a problem with the message. I don't have a problem with you getting deep. Make a song. If you wanted to do this, make a lecture. Do a TED Talk. But if you're making music, make music. because
like
this
music
was
to me.
boring
It
and
sound like music to me. It's probably
It was
you know what it is?
sleepy.
You know what
and
it is?
I've listened to many artists that teach during their music, that educate during their music, and it was also bumping at the same time.
Question for you, sir. Question for you, sir. Have you listened to The Pledge?
No, I hadn't listened to The Pledge.
You have not listened to Jay Electronica's first project.
We're not reviewing The Pledge. Are we reviewing The Pledge?
No. I asked you this because that sets the tone for what Jay Electronica's music is going to sound like. Did you not realize that? If he does his own beats, because that's what he pretty much did on that project.
That's like 10 years ago, ain't it?
That's his style.
Shouldn't I expect
You're now attacking the man for the way his style is. That's his style. That's always been his style. Every time he does beats on his own, it's the same way. The stuff he gave to Nas is the same thing.
Should I not expect?
You might need to review Jay Electronica's history, sir. It's not Just Blaze ain't on the album. If Just Blaze on the album, it's a different album. That's another thing we're gonna talk about too. No Just Blaze. And also, the reason why I say I understand your point about Jay-Z starting the album and Jay-Z being on most of the songs, but it harkens back to something that I always loved, which is Wu-Tang. And I'll bring it to 2 albums actually right now, which is
go ahead.
Cuban Links and Iron Man. And I'll say Iron Man maybe more because Ghostface is on less songs that are tracks. Did you know this? He's not even on a song. Did you know that? He's not on 2 songs on that album. He's not on Assassination Day, and he's not on Poisonous Darts. I think that's the Raekwon solo track. Just like how on the Cuban Links, there's a song with Raekwon's not on the song. It's just Ghostface by himself. So the reason I'm saying this is that this is not the first time we've seen this. And they were both their debuts. Too.
Iron Man.
They were both their debuts.
Iron Man has 16 songs, not 10.
What you say?
Iron Man has 16 songs, not 10.
I don't care about track listings. I just care about the album.
Bruh, it's a ratio. You can't be giving up all this real estate when you ain't got but 9 songs. How can I call? Say I drop a NERDSoul album, right? I drop a NERDSoul album, and it sound like we a duo. It sound like Black Star or something. It sound like I'm too. This ain't a NERDSoul album. It's a duo album. This is not a Jay Electronica album. When he drops one, let me know.
But this ain't a Jay Electronica. Why are you harkening? I'm trying to figure out why are you so. Just who cares about whose album it is? Just care about the music. And that you don't care about the music, which is understandable. I don't. No, I understand that part. But what I'm trying to say is that I don't let that color what the actual what the music is. I don't care about how many tracks it is. I don't care who's on it. I just care about what it sounds like. And for me, it sounded like something I wanted to hear. That's what I needed to hear. That's it. And also it could be what it could be is just this is a one-off, and that's when Jay Electronica would never release another project, which is very likely. And you know what? I don't really care either way. I just care that he at least dropped something with his voice on it. That's all I really care about, because he didn't do that for 10 years. You see what I'm saying? So really, my expectations were very low. I wasn't looking for banging beats, I just was looking for him to put out a project with his voice on it. That's how low my standards were. And he did.
Now, well, I'll agree with you. I'll agree with you on that. My standards were probably high. My standards were probably a little too high for this.
Yeah.
My expectations might have been too high for this. But when I heard this, I'm like, dude, you're supposed to be standing on your own square. This is your album.
Yeah, that's
not any other. But in general, when someone does a solo album, it is very clear that it's their album. They might have features, have people come in and do a chorus or something, but it is extremely clear it is their album. This album does not scream to me clearly that this is Jay Electronica's album. Then we have to get into Jay-Z. Jay-Z is on a lot of this, so since he's on a lot of this, I have to touch on Jay-Z. Jay-Z, love him or hate him, has been a chameleon most of his career. He's been into dip and dive into different styles, and it's served him well, and it's worked musically in many cases. In this album, it comes off comes off a little less genuine. For me, it comes off a little less genuine. It comes off like, yo, I'm gonna try to be, deep kick knowledge right now because I gotta, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get hot again. So I'm gonna do this right now because that's what is hot
I think you're putting outside thoughts on Jay-Z, which I don't think is fair, actually. I've heard that a lot.
I'm not talking about the lyrics. No. Jay-Z is rapping on this. It's not that he doesn't have skills. It just comes off as disingenuous. You know what I'm saying?
No, I don't know what you're saying, actually.
I don't feel like he believes this stuff. I feel like he's like, I know these lyrics are hot. I know it goes with, Jay Electronica's energy. So I'm going to say this because this is what I need to say in this situation. But this ain't really me. As opposed to, say, another rapper that might be on this that could have been on, like, say if Yasin Bey was on this and he was saying lyrics similar to Jay-Z's, you believe it because you're like, oh, this is kind of who this person is.
I don't want Yasin Bey on the Jay Electronica album.
I want
Most
that
Def
person
on the Jay Electronica album. I don't want Yasin Bey. He's drowsy. Nah, I'm
but
good.
I'm just trying to call the man what he told me to call him. All right, I'm just trying to be respectful to the man.
Mama call Most. I'ma call Most.
Yasin Bey.
Mama called Most.
His mama did not call him Most. His mama called him, I don't know what his real name is, but I don't know, Dante?
Dante Smith. I'm going to call him Dante.
Like, baby comes out. Oh,
no, but I can't call him Dante yet until he drops a project that he's drowsy, like super drowsy. He's been on tracks that most of has been on tracks that he's been drowsy on, but he hasn't released a project yet that he's drowsy on. So until he drops a project, I can't call him Dante.
Most recently, he's been solid, though.
And what?
Like,
on what?
Most recent joint I heard him on.
What did you hear him on?
Actually, we're still waiting. Actually, I'll reserve judgment because we're still supposed to be waiting for the Black Star album.
Oh, don't say that. So I'll reserve judgment. Don't say that, those two words, man. Black and Star, don't do that.
All I can tell you is what they told. Madlib said it's coming. Your favorite BKMC said it's coming. And Most Def said it's coming.
My favorite BKMC is actually Most, not the other guy. So what are we talking about?
It's your boy.
That's not my favorite.
Hold on, give me that Tyler.
No, I'm not doing it because you already did. You ruined it. I'll do it later. But moving on, back to the. I see what you're saying, but how about this? Can the man not evolve his words that he's speaking?
I don't have a problem against evolution, and my problem with this is Jay-Z has fake evolved a couple times now.
Fake evolved? That's not a thing. You're making this up.
Examples, please, he did it though.
Examples, sir. Examples.
It's been a couple times where like Jay-Z been like, yo man, I'm real, I'm for the culture, I'm deep. Yo, you gotta own your masters. He'd be like, yo, don't do no Super Bowl. Next thing you know, he'd be like, yo, NFL, whatever with that money. So I ain't trying to hear no fake.
That's
also remember he was fake evolved. He was fake evolved on Kingdom Come. Remember that?
Remember that? What? Examples. That's not saying Kingdom Come. I don't know what you're talking about. I need more examples than that.
Like, as far as like lyrics, trying to act like he was deeper, he was grown
trying
up now.
To act like he was deeper. That's how you perceive it. That maybe it's not. Maybe
all I can do is tell you what I perceive.
That maybe that's just not the case, and maybe you're wrong, and people are actually wrong, and Jay-Z actually is right in the end. Because think about this. This is why I have this written down in my notes.
Oh, what you gonna try to pull this song?
No.
What was the one where he was like, "Don't be tweeting about me"?
No. I just think about this. This is the reason why I say Jay it might be right in the end because all of Kanye's collaborators don't work with him no more. They work with Jay-Z. It's like how when Rockefeller broke up, they all went to Dame. They all went with Jay, not with Dame. I feel like Jay-Z may be the guy who's writing all this in terms of like his business practice and just like a general person. I think maybe everyone else is probably inauthentic. That's kind of weird. Like maybe Jay-Z's right in the end. You know what I mean? Like, because think about it. You got Travis Scott on the album. You got The Dream. These two people used to work with Kanye exclusively. You know what I mean? So I think like maybe Jay and personality-wise might be better to deal with, and maybe he may be more genuine than everyone else who you think is genuine. You know what I mean? He might be even more genuine than the guy who's rapping with, Jay Electronica. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm thinking. I wrote that in my notes too. That's a very poignant point about like Jay-Z and Kanye, the split and who sided with who. You see what I'm saying?
And this is a very there are many moments when he's like definitely talking or referring to Kanye. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, all right, you know what? I'll ease up on it.
No, you have to ease up. No, dude. Hey, you got the fire for him? Got the fire for him. I don't ease up on nobody. So
it's not that Jay-Z is all bad. I'm just saying that Jay-Z's
he is a chameleon.
Message
you are
in
correct
this
about
album.
that. He's always been a chameleon. Whoever he's working with, it's like, you know what it is? He's probably the kind of person like he can go either way. He synergizes with anybody. That's why he's a chameleon. So whatever he's on, he's gonna be that person. So when he's with Jay Electronica, he's on this tip. You know what I mean? Like maybe that's what it is. Like we can't get the full Jay-Z. Maybe this is now getting the full Jay-Z spectrum. You know what I mean? Like it's another tier to what he'd been thinking about, but maybe never had the chance to express it because who he was around. You see what I'm saying? Like maybe this is the full tier.
He never had
Jay-Z.
the chance to express it with the like 20 albums he's dropped.
Think about it. If you think that's evolution, is it not?
Bruh, how you gonna take over a whole dude's album? All of a sudden you trying to kick knowledge.
Hey,
that's the only thing I could think is the lyric where he was talking about like now you trying to kick knowledge. I'm like, you trying to kick knowledge.
Nah, not at the time. No, Jay-Z was not kicking no knowledge at the time. What are you talking about?
No, but I'm just saying now he trying to kick knowledge just because he was Jay Electronica, and you think that like that's going to be the train.
I'd rather the knowledge that Jay-Z. Ooh, that's a good question though. What knowledge would I rather have now? Ooh.
Whose knowledge do you prefer, Nas knowledge or Jay-Z?
I prefer Jay-Z now than Nas now. How about that?
Come on, man.
No, seriously.
You can't.
Seriously.
You can't let somebody drop knowledge mad years ago.
I'm not talking about knowledge. I'm just talking about like, we are talking about knowledge. But I think like what Jay-Z did on this album, I'll take it over what Nas will do on his albums right now. You see what I'm saying? Like if we compare what Nasir kicked on Nasir, I'll take Jay-Z on A Written Testimony. If that makes any sense. You know why I say this? Because Jay-Z actually addressed things. Nas didn't really address much on Nasir. An album with his own name. You would think it would have something to do about Nasir, right?
Yeah, I will give you that.
So that's what I'm saying.
Nas is
through the career.
Nas has had troubles.
It's Nas
with just music in general.
Yeah.
So
I'm just talking about his message. Nas' message, they didn't really have much message on Nasir. You have the cop shot the kid, but that's pretty much it.
But I'll say this, Nas's messages always seemed genuine to me. This one, and not that Jay, like I said, not that he's not rapping. His talent is there. I think that he does this depending on what he thinks is hot. He's like, oh, well, knowledge is gonna be hot now because I'm supposed to be deep. So let me just do deep so I can sell this album.
If Jay-Z thought that the music that he was rapping on this album was going to be hot, he was mistaken. The reason why I say this in terms of like Jay-Z hot, because Jay-Z hot is all about, but that we knew Jay was all about record sales and getting the stuff out. This Jay-Z now, it don't seem like he's about that, which means he's more genuine. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay. All right.
You see where I'm coming with it? So, like it's who he's around.
I see where you coming.
Okay. All right. What else I got on my? I got mad notes, bro.
Oh no, I got notes too. But it's just these are like the main things that hit where I was like, nah. So
yeah.
Oh well, let me ask you this: are you ready to score?
I ain't even done my notes, but yeah, I guess I'm ready. To score.
Sorry, go and finish your notes.
I touched on it a little bit was the Just Blaze thing. Like Just Blaze being missing from this album is a very glaring missing. Like, where's Just Blaze? That's weird, right?
Yep.
Because Just had his first album, the one that didn't come out. He had it on his phone. He said I have it on my phone. He also works with Jay-Z, but they haven't worked in a long time. Blaze and Jay-Z haven't worked in a very long time. It might have been that album you just said, Kingdom Come. No, the movie, the soundtrack, American Gangster. That may have been the last time they worked together. That was a long time ago.
A long time ago.
He wasn't on that Magna Carta Opus, Othello, whatever that album was called. He wasn't on that album. And he wasn't on the 444, which obviously no ID. Who's on this album?
Yeah.
So it's interesting.
But with that production tip, I'm glad you brought that up because I was going to hit that before my score. I don't like any of the production, not a drop.
Okay.
There's a couple that I'm like, oh, okay, cool. But for the most part, that'd be a no for me, dog.
Let me see. Let me run it back. I'm looking at the track list just now, bruh. I'm telling you this right now.
Ghost of Soldier Slim might be one of the closest. That and Never Ending Story because Alchemist is on it. But then again, it's one of those beats that don't have no beat. So you know how I feel about that too. But there's certain people that can do that.
I say
there's
that.
certain people that can do that and really rock that well. But it just seems sometimes I'm just like, but you're talking about 1.5 beat out of 10 beats, or I guess maybe 9, because the first isn't really like a beat. So you're talking about like 1.5 beats possibly.
Have you thought about that? This is not for the people who are looking for beats. It's for people who are looking for music. No, I'm serious.
Did you just say?
No, this is what I said because it's hip hop, but it's not hip hop though. It's not hip hop in a way.
Oh, bruh. No matter how you dice it, I don't like the music on here. I
ain't saying you gotta like the music. I'm just saying, have you considered like an alternate to what you're used to?
I've considered that they went in here and made a 40-day album that sounds like a 40-day album. An album that's not his, that's a duo album, that's needed way more time and shouldn't have him sounding sleepier and rustier than he did 10 years ago. That's
he's
how
older,
I feel.
man. He's not a young guy no more, man.
Older don't mean you gotta be worse.
Older sometimes
if you look
means
at them
you're
kung fu movies, the old dudes was always the illest cats.
Hey, man, his pinnacle was probably Exhibit C. That's it. That's his pinnacle. He's going down. Oh well.
True that.
Hey, all I gotta say is, how old is Jay Electronica? I bet she probably has the best album of some of his age. He's 43 years old, sir. He's 43 years old. Anybody else at 43 got a good album like this? Or at least close? 43 years old, sir.
I don't know. We'd have to look at all the 43-year-old people. Like everyone who's 40 plus dropping
40 plus. Ain't nobody dropping 40 plus. Ain't nobody really dropping no heat. That's 40 plus. Sorry. Or even close to any heat. Not even Nas. Sorry.
Hold up. All right. Well, hold up. You know how I feel about that that Freddie Gibbs joint last year. How old is Freddie Gibbs?
Freddie young, man. Freddie ain't that old.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, Freddie Gibbs ain't that
Well,
old.
you know Black don't crack. Freddie could be 52.
Yeah, I know, but Freddie is well, he's 37. All right, he's 37.
All right. So he escapes that. So all right, word. But yeah, that's how I feel about the album.
Okay.
If you're ready to score, I can score. I got my score.
I ain't ready to score. what's one more thing I gotta talk about? Oh, I think I talked about everything.
Okay, all right.
My notes are short. Wait, short but sign of life. Oh, that's what I said. The album is short, but it has signs of life. But you said he's sleeping and drowsy. But I feel like it has life, or either this is death. This is either life or death for him in terms of musically. This is either his last album or this is his first album. You see what I'm saying? It's in his hand though. I think it's his last album though. I'm not expecting anything else from this dude ever again. And I don't mind it. Because, like, listen to the music of, like, what he's been through. Because the word that stuck out to me was shrink. Shrink. Coke in the nose. Sins. What he's been going through. It's not been like, on paper, it looks like it's been a walk in the park. Oh, he did an Exhibit C, and now he's just with the Rothschilds. He's all over the place. He got cheered with Erykah Badu. But we don't know the in-between all that stuff. You don't know what this man's been going through. Yeah. That's what I'm trying to think. Like, sometimes we always judge people on what's been seen, but it's like, we don't know the totality of this man's life and what he's been going through and why he hasn't released an album. You know what I'm saying? He probably just dealing with life. Okay. You know what I mean?
Dealing with life.
Yeah, life is big, man. Life takes a toll on you. You know what I mean? But my score, you can score because I know your score is gonna be anyway. So you can score. We'll leave on a lighter note. I know yours is a lower note in terms of.
Oh yeah, leave on a lighter note. All right, cool. I don't like any of the production. I don't think that this is his album. I think that this is way too little too late. His lyrics are rusty at best. But there's a couple shining moments, but generally rusty. He let someone else bust on at the beginning of his own album. And the dude, in my opinion,
I mean, Iron Man,
energy-wise, takes
the first
over.
verse on Iron Man. So what are we talking about?
We're also talking about a joint that's like
Yeah, beat on
16,
the strike,
16 tracks long,
Sit back,
and
Jolly.
a precedent that had been set all the way back when they were a group.
Wait, who starts on Knuckleheads? Is that Ghost? No, Ghostface had the second verse of Knuckleheads. All right, we'll leave that alone. But actually, Ghostface is the first voice you hear. Yo, son, check it on the intro. That's what I'm trying to say, yo. I'm just making examples that like it doesn't really matter who starts the album.
We're talking about a precedent that was set back when they were a group. Jay Electronica and Jay-Z were not part of a group.
They did songs together
2 years ago, and then ain't nobody trying to hear all that. Ain't
nobody trying to hear together.
So with all this said, I don't like the production, don't like the rhymes. Jay-Z comes off less genuine as I would like him to. And
but you say short for you. He's never been
it's short in a bad way for me. I'm gonna go in and give this joint a meh 4.
I'm surprised it's not lower. It sounds like it's lower than Capadonna territory the way you be talking about it.
No, I don't think this is worse than Capadonna's joint. I wouldn't say.
Is it worse than Bobby Digital?
Nah, Bobby Digital is way worse than this.
Okay. So what Bobby Digital? What album?
Bobby Digital was 2. I think Capadonna was 3, and this is 4.
I thought you bumped Capadonna up to 4, or no?
I bumped Kappa up to 3. I think.
Okay.
I think I had Cap at 2 and Bobby at 2.
Okay. Well, my score is a solid 7.
Okay. All right. Respectable.
Reasons why is because he gets bodied on his own album by Jay-Z. Musically, I like his musical choices of sounds. That's maybe because I've always, since The Pledge, I'm like, yo, it's something about what he chooses to rap over, and the interesting nature of like how he raps over these songs that don't have drums to them is very interesting to me. So that's why I said listening to The Pledge and going right to The Pledge to this makes sense logically in terms of sound. So that's what I was kind of expecting, I guess, maybe a little bit behind. Maybe like kind of I was expecting, but when I heard it, I was like, oh yeah, it's just in line with The Pledge. It's just Act 2, basically. You know what I mean? Like, it just makes sense sonically. So that's why the beats sound like that. Or they don't have a beat, but the music sounds like that. It's probably just saying it's music. He was rapping, or they were rapping over music, not over beats like it's hip hop. This is not hip hop at all. It's only hip hop because they may be rapping. But other than that, musically, it's not really hip hop. And it may be more of a splinter from like the Wu-Tang era where they were rapping over loops, and that became something else. You get into like Mobb Deep, then you get to like the Griselda guys now, and you get into different people, Rock Marcy. You get into that not rapping over drums per se, and that is another subgenre in its entirety. So this sits in that subgenre. It doesn't sit in the hip. It's hip hop, but it's like super over here in terms of the non-drums having music that they rap over, which is a style that some people like, some people don't like. I like his version better because I like the music he chose than the other guys, the music they choose. And then their voice is not.
Yeah, because it's like I can take it, but I don't want it to be all the time. Like, yo, man, like you don't need to bring in a drummer and now and then, son. But
and you would think I would feel that way, right? Since I'm always talking about, but like for his style, it's his style that he did 13 years ago. So it's like that's his style. You know what I mean? Like that it just makes logical sense of why this album sounds this way. And even like the mixing is horribly mixed. But it makes it sound like almost like stuff came off the radio. You know what I mean? Like when you hear something on the radio and you put it on cassette, it's like that. That's the quality it comes off at. And I'm like, is that purposely done? Maybe or maybe not. But because Young Guru was there, so he has a good ear. So it's not like it was done accidentally. So that made me another thing too, that people were talking about the mix of the album. Like, maybe it's purposely done. Do y'all even consider that? This is all purpose. So I don't know. That's how I feel. So it's number 7. No. I guess not even a pun, but no. Number 7 is a very good number in certain religions. You know what I'm saying? So I gave it number 7.
Understood. Understood.
Considering all things, I give it a 7.
All right, cool. Well, guys, that's the
now. What did Rosenberg say?
We got some hip hop news.
With that fat head.
There's been some fallout after the album.
Fat face. What did he say?
Pete Rosenberg, the guy that we all know and love.
I used to listen to Juan Epstein, man, with him and Cypher Sounds. I listened to all those episodes.
Oh God.
They had some really good guests in there. They had Kanye in there, man. Kanye interviewing at the time. I was like, I want to hear that guy talk. At the time, it was like Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy Kanye. So it was a good time.
All right, so Rosenberg listened to the album like we did, and if you did not know, Rosenberg is a Jewish guy. So he wrote in a tweet, he quoted, "My feet might fail me, my heart might ail me, the synagogues of Satan might accuse or jail me." And then he said, "Not feeling this bar from Jay Electronica, and I know I'm not the only person who felt a way about it." Then he tweets again saying, "Apologies, I quoted the wrong song when I Googled Synagogue of Satan. I mistakenly assumed Jay only said it once. This is the second time. The line this time is the Synagogue of Satan want me to hang by my collar. LOL, my bad. Song's dope, besides that cringe though." So Jay Elect comes back, says, "Clout chasing is at an all-time high." And then he said, "And by the way, Rosenberg, if you really want to get into it, we are willing to hold a discussion in a public forum on the Synagogue of Satan and its meeting with any scholars of theology you would like to bring. Until then, shut the F up."
I like that. I like that clap back. I wish he clapped back on the album like that, but whatever.
I wish he had that heat and that fire in his lyrics. But anyway, so
all right,
all right. He had a little bit of fire.
There's some fire there.
Flickering. Little flickering flame. Little flickety flame.
He's probably tired, man. He's probably tired of trying to defend why he didn't come up with an album. You know what I mean?
So Rosenberg did not respond, but he did take to, of course, his outlet because he has, he's on Hot 97 with Ebro.
Which is not even hot anymore, but it should just be called 97. But okay, I got you.
A warm 97.
Not even warm.
97.
Cold 97.
Room temp 97.
You giving them some kind of credit. I give them cold 97.
Tepid.
In the last 10 years,
Tepid
in the last
97.
15 years, they've been cold 97.
Man, don't get me started on Hot 97 and oh boy. I'm trying to stay focused on.
I grew up on Hot
Rosenberg,
97, so I know.
I'm gonna try not to focus on Ebro. And I cannot remember the other young lady's name.
Laura.
For forgetting
Laura
her name.
Styles.
Laura. All right, so forgive me, Laura. I apologize. This isn't about Ebro. It's not about Laura. It's about Rosenberg. Okay. Here's my problem with Rosenberg. There's lyrics in hip hop all the time that have all kinds of derogatory messaging. But somehow, the only time you cringe is when they come down your block. Now, here's the thing. There's been cringeworthy lyrics from many a rapper, especially the stuff Hot 97 be playing now. Especially when you're talking about referring to black women or referring to general black death of, men in these streets and what they want to do to each other, what they can do, what they have done, blah, 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 blah. Mm-hmm. But somehow, only when Jay Electronica says something about the Synagogue of Satan, here you come. Now, do I know about the Synagogue of Satan? No. I mean, I generally know about it, but I mean, it's not like I know. I ain't written no papers on it. You know what I'm saying? But, apparently, this is when you get up in arms. You've had people in your presence where you can interview them and press them about things that they've said against black women, against black men, against black culture.
Whoa. Why would Rosenberg care about those things? He's not none of those things. He's not black.
Let me get to it.
I'm just asking a question. That sounds a little off base, but okay, keep going.
Well, the reason it's not off base is because he's supposed to be hip hop media. He's supposed to be talking about lyrics in songs. He's supposed to be talking about, hey, I'm a representative of this discussion of hip hop.
I wouldn't want.
We don't get to pick and choose when it's discussion time. Like even on our show, we've talked about T.I., we've talked about Eminem. We haven't shied away from. We haven't pick and choose like, oh well, we'll only talk about this because it makes us feel good. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe it doesn't hit him the same way because he's a Jewish white man.
Yes,
I don't understand why
he's also been.
Who you looking for him for information for about black people?
No,
and about how you feel?
I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, it's interesting. This is the time he wants to jump on something.
It affects
so he jumps
him.
on it.
I understand that.
But this is also the guy that said that Chuck D wasn't relevant, and there's a certain point when it's like when you come for like legends, it's like, bruh, look.
I need context with that last statement, though. I need a little context.
You're a guest. You're a guest in the house of hip hop. So, on this, he wanted to jump out and say that he's cringy. Because, of course, and this is not new with Jay Electronica. Jay Electronica is well known to be part of like either NOI or FOI, either one. He's supposed to be, well known. He's Muslims, and that, especially when you're talking about Nation of Islam, it's very well known that the black people are the original Israelites, and that the Jewish people they ain't too keen on them. This is well known. This ain't brand new for nobody. So I do think that he's clout chasing. So then you want to try to call me out. Jay is like, all right, well, let's have a discussion. You want to talk about it? Let's talk. Then all of a sudden, it's number crickets. You ain't got number crickets now? Except to go on your own station, to have your own shield of Ebro and Laura to kind of back you up. And on Hot 97, he made a statement of, far be it from him, in paraphrasing, far be it from him to like tell black people what they can and can't say on their records. And I'm like, that's not even what you said in this tweet. You didn't tell Jay Electronica what he could and couldn't say. You just said that you felt a way about it. So if Nicki Minaj says something about black women in a song, why couldn't you be like, yo, man, I feel a certain way about this?
Man, that's apples and oranges. I am disagreeing with you like 1,000% on this one. I don't want Rosenberg to talk about nothing about black people ever. I don't want him. I'm serious. It won't affect him the same. It's like the same thing about asking a white person to feel about when they get killed when black people get killed by cops. I don't want them talking about it ever. It got nothing to do with them. So really, it ain't gonna affect them the same way it hit us. So really, I'll do what Jay Lex said to him. Shut the F up.
Yeah, cause see,
feel your type of way alone in your corner.
Yeah, cause see, and my thing is once he said that stuff to Jay Electronica, you open the door for criticism.
Oh yeah,
and it's if you're going to dissect lyrics, why aren't you dissecting all lyrics even?
No, they can't do that because it affects him directly. You see what I'm saying? Like it affects him more than any other lyric in Jay Electronica or any hip hop artist. If any hip hop artist talks about anything Jewish, it's going to affect him directly. So of course he's going to feel some type of way. It's just like if Eminem starts saying something about black women. We're gonna have something to say, right? Black people gonna have something to say about it, right? But we, like it's like different. I don't think it's comparable, really. Like really.
All right, cool.
I wouldn't want Petey Rosenberg talking about when Nicki Minaj talking about black women. I wouldn't want that. It'd be cringy for me to hear him say anything about it.
All right, you know what? With that said, I see where you're coming from.
You see him come like I don't want him. Nah,
I see
it's the same thing. Talk about why are these celebrities talking about what's going on in the world? Like, bruh, they're humans just like you. They waiting for more information. And even if they did, they probably talking to their people. Don't mean they need to announce everything that's going on in their thought process. It's social media, but it ain't social. You got to talk about everything media. You know what I mean?
Because social, you got to talk about everything media.
It ain't about that. I ain't IG in like a whole 2 weeks. I got stuff going on in my life. I don't care about IG.
Now, and the reason a lot of people got popping about this is because it's like, yo, you kind of like position yourself, and of course the station positions you as kind of essentially an authority in hip hop.
I don't know. I don't know why people give people who on the radio a quote unquote authority or power.
Well, no, not saying that, but I'm just saying like that this is the world we live in. He has a platform. He has a stage.
Y'all putting too much. Yeah, not saying you, but I'm saying y'all putting too much emphasis on people on the radio station of a radio that's playing the same song over and over, and the content is crap. No, I'm good. Y'all putting way too much stock into the old mentality of the 90s. Yeah, Hot Inside was hot in the 90s, but it ain't hot now. They're actually irrelevant. Sorry. Them irrelevant. All the shows is irrelevant for the most part. All the radio stations is irrelevant. Breakfast Club irrelevant. All of them are irrelevant. I don't care about none of them.
Yeah, don't get me started on that. That's a whole nother story.
In terms of like way it shapes people's brains, I don't like maybe.
No, I feel you.
I'm gonna say this right now, man. I'm gonna say this right now. If you're looking for the radio for information about what's going on in hip hop culture, you're looking in the wrong place. That's all I'm saying.
All right. I agree.
They don't do nothing for me. But continue.
And see, to a certain degree, I'd lean with you and say that I don't think a lot of people are, but I think due to the fact that it's traditional media and the platform is there, they still have the ears, so then it kind of reverberates through the culture. You know what I'm saying? I
don't think so.
Like even though they're not as maybe big isn't the term. Like even though they're not as large as they once were,
people still pay attention to them because of the platform. I get that, but I think people should stop paying attention to them so we can get rid of that platform. So then we can get some new people up in there. Cause how you gonna have two people? How you gonna have two people that ain't even from New York being in a New York station? Houseway. That's Laura and Ebro. They ain't even from New York. And I'm not saying everybody at the station gotta be from New York, but I'm trying to say that it colors what they put out and what they talk about. I've heard people. I've listened to a lot of their stuff. I'm well versed in these three people. I don't like them. I only watched the interviews because other people were there. Whoever they got up there, like Freddie Gibbs was up there with Madlib. That was interesting. Madlib at a radio station.
that was a dope
interesting idea.
But not because of them, but because of Madlib actually showed up in person somewhere.
Yeah, for once. Like it's never happened in the history of like the world. Madlib never.
It's like, hold up, is he alive?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like he showed up to that, and he was at the Tiny Desk joint.
Maybe the BBC Radio was last time he showed up at a radio station. I think with Giles Peterson back in the days. That was the last time I saw Madlib at a radio station.
Wow.
So I had to check some of it out, That was intriguing to me. But other than that, man, I'm not looking for them three people like to talk about the culture and stuff like that. Yeah, they got their little jokes and stuff here and there and stuff. I have a little chuckle here and there, but for the most part, I'm looking for whoever else is there in the room, Like when 50 was up there talking about the French Montana stuff, that was kind of funny because 50 was like, "You ruined hip hop." Because he said that he ruined hip hop, and he's like, "Nah, you ruined hip hop.
Oh boy,
you ain't playing stuff with these new dudes was playing. You ain't playing New York. Now everybody sound like Atlanta." That's what he said, and he's actually kind of true. Kind of. 50's kind of right with that one.
50 at times be having a point, but like 50 be just messing it up.
Oh yeah, 50's a troll. He's the beginning. His whole career is a troll. Think about it. He started with a troll song.
Yeah, he did start with a troll song. But like 50, he has like half a point, but then like he just mess it up.
Yeah, because he's just joking. Like he's just smiling when he's saying it, so it's not, you can never take him too serious,
And then the teeth too, man. The teeth be all big.
I don't talk about the man teeth, man. He probably had to get them teeth reconstructed after getting the shots in his face, man. Leave the man alone.
Well, yeah, that's true. I'll ease that up. I'll ease back.
Got a bullet hole right in his jaw, man. Leave that man alone, man. Right in his cheek, you got a bullet hole. Like, leave that man alone. You thought it was a dimple, so it's actually a bullet hole. Leave that man alone.
Oh boy. With that said, guys, that's it. That's it. We have solved the written testimony. We have listened to the testimony. We've given
J
our
squared.
verdict. Holla, yeah, J squared. Holla at us
Or
we'll holla at
Jay-Z
you.
featuring somewhat Jay Electronica.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jay's Electronica.
No, it's just Jay-Z written testimony featuring Jay Electronica.
Yeah, this kind of how it is.
Yeah.
Like, unfortunately,
He could have had more verses though. He could have like added another verse after Jay-Z's verses. That's all I'm trying to say. He could have added more. He could have did more. Jay Electronica.
Yeah,
But maybe he was on the, but he was slaving over those beats, yo.
Man,
He was slaving over those Sleepy Brown beats, man. You know what I'm saying?
slaving over those beats.
Wait, then
Anyway.
his mom passed, right? His mom passed. That last song was a great song. man.
Maybe I
I
can't
think his
remember,
mom's
honestly.
passed, or somebody passed. Jay Electronica's mom. That last song is about that. I believe the last, because you said I got numbers in my phone I can never read again. I believe that's what the last song was about. Here, unfortunately, due to death of mother. So what year was this? Or was it this year? No, but yeah, I knew his mother passed or whatever. And that also couldn't affect you, in life. So I'll give Jay a little bit of cushion with my heat for him.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
okay,
just a little bit. I'm considering some things.
A little touch.
Yeah. But I think 7 is my number. So yeah, that's that.
All right, guys. Well, to my metaphysical left, amazing producer. Space Bridge is out now. You need to check it out. And on top of that,
What were you about to say?
I was about to say.
You ain't say no NDA. You ain't say no NDA stuff, is you?
No, I'm not gonna say
Okay.
no NDA stuff.
Okay.
And on top of that, if you got a TV show and you need some music, holla at him.
Okay.
His name is Arckatron.
Yes. Thank you for that. The outroduction, young fella, young man. You can find me at arckatron.com. You can find the Space Bridge there. You can find the tapes. You can find the deluxe, super deluxe versions of the album. If you don't like Bandcamp, then you can go to any streaming platform except Tidal, for the most part. And you can find the Space Bridge. Just put arckatron. Put my name in, or put the Space Bridge in, and you'll find the album. Download it, listen to it, stream it, whatever you want, but just consume it in some way. And holler at me and let me know if you heard it. And say, hey, I like the album, or hey, I don't like the album. Either way, I'll take any kind of response right now. And to my metaphysical right, I have the incomparable NERDSoul.
That's right.
Where can they find you?
NERD, NERDSOUL, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Holla at your boy. But guys, thank you for hanging with us. We know this is the Corona edition. There might be some more Corona editions, but you just keep them headphones on and just keep chilling. Remember, you can always watch this. If you don't want to watch it, you can listen to it. If you don't want to listen or watch, just put it up in a tab and still support your boy. Make sure to share, like, comment, and all that good stuff. And we'll see you next time. From us to you, we're just chilling, saying peace.
And keep your head up. Ooh, child. Things are going to get easier. You know what I'm saying? And a woo for y'all.
And a woo for y'all.
Peace.